Welcome back to a new video, guys. Slightly behind schedule, I know. But life's been happening. So here we are. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can add the reading time to WordPress blog posts. Something which I was quite surprised isn't a native feature that you can add already, because it's quite common you see something like this with the reading time as part of the post info. This works by calculating the read time based on the number of words within your post content, and it does this automatically, so you don't need to do any maths yourself. And I've also built it using a shortcode. And what this means is it's not Elementor specific. You can use other page builders and you can just use core WordPress, so Gutenberg. So today, what I'll do is I'll show you how I've implemented it using Elementor Pro, because I've put it within the post info widget. But I will show you how you can do this with Elementor Free and how you can just do it with core WordPress, so Gutenberg as well. And on top of that, I'll show you how we can add a few attributes to the shortcode, which means you can fully customize how this looks. So let's get into it. The first step, guys, no matter what page builder you're using, or if you're even using one, is copy this code snippet. So we're going to copy this, and I'll provide the link to this code snippet in the video description. And you're going to want to paste it into wherever you put your code snippets. So I'm using Fluent Snippets today, but you can use obviously code snippets, or you can use functions PHP file if you know your way around the WordPress backend. But today I'm using this free plugin called Fluent Snippets. I've already created my snippet here, which is called Add Read Time to Blog Posts. Just paste it in, and then once you've saved it, make sure you activate it. So I'm going to activate it here, and you'll see in this snippet, a big chunk of it is just comments at the top. And this just clarifies how it works with custom attributes. But I will be going through that today in the video, so feel free to just delete the comment if you feel like you don't need it. But the first method I'll show you is how I've implemented this using Elementor Pro. So with Elementor Pro, you get access to templates. So the template you'd use for your blog posts is the single post template. So I'll just click on that here. And here's one I've already created for my post. And I'll edit this with Elementor. And you'll see, once we're in here, how I've implemented this using the post info widget. So this is my heading. And within my hero section, I've got my post info widget here. Currently, it's just got the date in. So you'll see the date here. So to implement the actual reading time, we just need to add a new item. It defaults to date, so click on custom. Now, we don't want the reading time to be a link, so I'm going to turn that off. What we do want to do is click on a dynamic tag, because it's within here, we can set this to shortcode. And then click on the little spanner, and you can basically type your shortcode here directly, and it's simply read_time. And once we've typed that in, you'll immediately see it loads on this editing page, the actual read time, which is pretty good because you can see it immediately working. So we've got here 2 minutes. Now, the only thing I want to change for my website is I want to add a little icon here. So just like the rest of the post info elements, you can add an icon. So I'll click in here where it says icon, put custom, and I'm just going to search for the clock. And add the clock. And now that's it, basically. It's as simple as that. That's how you add it using Elementor Pro in the post info widget. Now, the other good thing about adding your reading time shortcode as part of your post info widget is it means they all stay as part of the same element, which means you can then style them up collectively. You're not adding your reading time somewhere else or with a shortcode widget and then having to style it up individually to match the rest of your post info. You can style them all collectively because it is now part of your post info within the metadata. So that just makes things a little bit easier, because generally you do see reading time on blog posts with the other meta information. So that's how you achieve this within Elementor Pro. So now I'll show you that you can still apply this reading time to Elementor Free. So I've got here a blank website that just contains two plugins, which is the free version of Elementor and our Fluent Snippets plugin, because all I've done within Fluent Snippets is just add the code snippet that I showed you earlier. And then within Elementor Free, we've got here a post that I've created, because with the free version of Elementor, you don't have access to the post template, the single post template. So your posts will be individual within the free version of Elementor. So here I've added the text for my post, and then we've just got the post title, but we've just got a text editor with the words in here, the post content. You'll see if I try and add the post info widget, it's locked off because, again, we're in the free version of Elementor. But what you can do is you can add a shortcode widget. So I'll just drag that back to the top. Or you can even just add a text editor widget, which I've just realized recently. You can just type in the shortcode into a text editor widget and it'll still work. So I'll show you both of them now. So I'll just type read_time in square brackets in both of these. And you'll see straight away it's working. It says 5 minutes. And I'll copy that and I'll paste it into the text editor here. This one, it doesn't display it in the edit page immediately. But if I publish this and view the post, you'll see they both work. They both say 5 minutes. If I go back to the post, this one within the text editor, it does have a style tab, just like it did within the post info widget. So you can change colors and things in here, which is quite useful. So you'll see now it's loaded in the edit page and I've just changed it to a blue color. The shortcode widget doesn't actually have the styling options here. So it might be beneficial for you to use just a text editor. But if I publish that, you'll see on the front end, it's working. So that's how you'd add it to Elementor Free. You basically just add it directly into your post rather than within a template. Now, if you're not using a page builder like Elementor, this still works in the exact same way. So you'll see here, I've got a blank install of WordPress. All I've got on here is the Fluent Snippets plugin, because you will need to add the code snippet still for this to work. But if I go into posts, click into this post here that I created earlier, there's 750 words here. So if I just add a new block, so this is basically Gutenberg, add a shortcode block, and then in the exact same way, I'll just type read_time, close this square bracket, save this, and then view the post. You'll see it loads the read time as you'd expect here, 4 minutes. Now you would want to style this up, obviously. This doesn't look great, but functionally it works in the exact same way. So what I'll do now, guys, is I'll show you how you can make some minor tweaks to the shortcode to make sure your reading time is displayed exactly as you want it to be. And these minor tweaks come in the form of attributes, and these just get added to the shortcode itself. So you don't need to edit the code snippet at all. I'm just showing you this because this is where I've explained what the attributes are and a few examples on what we do. But the easiest way for me to show you is just going back into my single post template. I'll show you a few of them in action. But again, these attributes will work in Elementor Free, Pro, any other builder, or just WordPress itself. So the first two attributes I'll show you, they're pretty self-explanatory, but the code before and after. So if you go into your shortcode to add an attribute, simply add a space after read_time. And the first one I'll show you is before. So type before equals a couple of quotation marks. Anything you type in these quotation marks will then appear before your reading time. So I've just typed read time in there. And then after works in the exact same way. If you type after equals and then some quotation marks, anything you type in here will now appear after your reading time. So that's how those two work. Now I know in this specific scenario, you wouldn't need to add those attributes because you can just go into advanced and type into these fields here for before and after. But I know not everyone's using Elementor, so these fields aren't always available. So I have put these attributes in here in case you need them. The next attribute is WPM. So this stands for words per minute, and this is how the actual reading time is calculated because this is essentially the reading speed. So by default, it's set as 200 because this is an average sort of reading speed, 200 words per minute. So if you don't add this attribute, it will just default to 200. However, if you're building a website maybe for a younger audience who will have a slower reading speed, this is where you can change it. WPM equals 100. You'll notice the reading time has gone up to 3 minutes from 2 minutes. Alternatively, if you're building a website for people who might read really quickly, you can change this to 400 and it'll decrease the reading time because they can read quicker. So that's where you'll make this change. One thing worth mentioning is I have got the reading time to round up. So if it's say 1.5 minutes, it will round up to 2 minutes. So that's how the words per minute value works. The last customization you can do for your reading time is by changing the actual word used for the units. So currently it defaults to minutes, but I have seen on a lot of blog posts before the word min is used or mins. So to do this, you literally just type in the word that you want to use to replace minutes. So if I want to use mins, it'll now say mins, and you just type this in as the word itself. You don't need to put any equals sign or quotation marks. It's literally just the word. So you'll see I've typed mins. If I delete the S, it'll then say to min. So it is worth mentioning, if you do type a word with an S on the end, every time the reading time is greater than 1, it will use that word with the S on the end. But if your reading time is just 1 minute, so I'll just increase my words per minute to force this. If your reading time does just end up as 1, it will ignore the S on mins. So I have built it so logically it can work that out and it knows when to drop the S, because otherwise if it said 1 mins, it wouldn't really make sense. So that's just one worth mentioning. And then again, if you have it in min, no matter what the number is, whether it's 1 or 20, it'll just stick it on as min. So that's how you can add the attributes to customize your reading time. And the good thing about this is you can add any number of attributes, so you can just combine them. So if I add before and then read time, you'll see that it remains with the min. So it says read time : 2 min. And then again, after this, I could even change my word per minute. So word per minute, I could put a really slow words per minute of 50, and it'll go read time 6 min. So you can basically just combine the attributes to achieve whatever you want. If you do want to target your reading time with any specific styling, if you haven't used it in a widget, or if you want to target it with JavaScript or anything like that, I have put it inside a class, a span tag with a class of reading time. So it does generate on the front end in the HTML code with a class of reading time. So that's just one for you to take note of. So I hope you've enjoyed this one, guys, and you found it useful. Like I say, I was surprised this wasn't just by default an option with WordPress or Elementor. But now with that code snippet, you're able to add it to any websites you build, and then even better, customize it exactly as you want. So for me, I'm happy just with 2 minutes, but for you, you might want before text, after text, you might want to change your words per minute, or you might want to change your unit. So if you have enjoyed it, guys, feel free to give it a like, comment, or subscribe if you're not already. And I'll see you in the next one, where I'll be showing you how to achieve something else within this hero section, which surprisingly, again, isn't possible by default or natively with Elementor.